to work. Sort of business. Actually, before the peculiar interest is before the call for peculiar interest regarding the agenda. Anybody have anything in there? Results? None. So the agenda, deletions, any additions? Does anybody have anything in there? Donna?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, in the in-camera section, Kelly and Andrew decided because they're the management team. That discussion because it does affect their budget potential.
Anybody have anything else? Motion to accept the agenda with the additions in?
I'll make the motion to accept the agenda with the addition.
John, thank you. All in favor? That is carried. Adoption of previous minutes, 4.1. So the regular council meeting of November 22nd, special budget meeting, November 26th, committee of the whole, December 6th, and the special budget meeting, December 11th. Does anybody have any errors or omissions to bring forward for that?
I think the one I had mentioned, Jesse corrected.
Okay. Thank you. Heard none. Can I get a motion to adopt the minutes for these 4 meetings?
Make a motion to adopt the previous meetings, 4 of them.
Thank you, Brown. All in favor? That is carried. Oh, we do not have any public hearings. If there's any presentations or delegations, no old business, new business. I've just got some correspondence here. I'm just gonna read here just a little bit. First one is from the.
I'd like to add them to the agenda that if we're just adding. That's fine, but we should have added them to the agenda.
It's just Christmas cards.
Okay, fair enough, but.
Okay, it just came in conflict.
Well, it should be added to the agenda.
Okay, we can, sure. Okay.
We'll add them as you read them, Mayor.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
We need another motion, or we're just gonna put it in there?
I would suggest, Mayor Hostin, that you read them and then we'll call the motion to accept them.
Okay, perfect.
I'll
start with the real easy ones first here.
Sure.
So
Indicate who they're from, sir.
Have you hanging any of these Christmas cards up front, Jesse?
I've got 4 in it now.
Okay, so after I'm done, I'll give them. Okay, so just Mark Smith, MLA, got one for him for the council, one from Gerald Soroka, another one from the Honorable Devin Gresham, MLA, Minister of Transportation and Economic Corridors. And the last one is the Central Alberta Economic Partnership. And then the letter that just arrived from Black Gold School Division, and they are inviting us to a special supper meeting on January 18, 2023, so they can introduce to you a number of newly elected school trustees and discuss how the board can continue to fill its commitment to inclusive and equitable public education in the community of Thorsby and other topics of mutual interest. So,
What time and where?
It's in 6:30 to 8 p.m.
On January 18th. At where?
At the
Black Gold School
Black Gold School Division located in the county center building.
Okay.
It's,
So at the county building
in this. Yes.
So I suggest that anybody, I guess, wants to make it, I guess, just contact Donna, and we'll try and go with as many people as can make it.
You should.
What day is January 18th? A Wednesday library meeting. Are they looking for an RSVP?
There.
No.
Because our library is.
Yeah, oh, yes, they are,
They are.
So they are.
It's the potluck and all of that, isn't that me?
Please
I'm going to
confirm.
endeavor to go just for, I will make every effort to attend. That seems worthwhile.
Yep.
I'll be
Please confirm attendance with Camille Henderson, Administrative Assistant, for Friday, December 16th.
No, they had called us. They had originally sent it, Your Worship, to Ms. Laboda, and so we didn't get it. And so then they resent it. The communications director called me Monday, And they said, no, just RSVP, we'd love for you folks to come. So Councilor Corey, I'll be going in as the CAO. Mr. Mayor?
Yeah, that is on the,
It seems like a worthwhile thing if anyone's available, I guess.
We have library.
No?
Councilor Miller?
Maybe one of you go.
Yeah, that's what I
one
was
of you go,
thinking.
like that seems like a worthwhile thing.
Yeah, I can do it.
Wednesday.
Meanie.
I'll try to book the day off when we go back
Split
on the third.
ourselves.
I'll come.
I'll go to library.
By default.
We'll try and get, maybe do a little bit of carpool maybe together. And that's all I have. Nothing else that you have?
No other correspondence, so the work coming in every day. I was looking at today that was,
Okay.
Move
Go
to
ahead.
accept the correspondence from Mark Smith, sorry, what were the other ones?
Go ahead. And the Christmas cards from
Sorry, there was Mark Smith, there was,
Mark Smith, Gerald
Gerald
Soroka,
Mr. Dresden, Kate.
Kevin Grisham, and Central Alberta.
and yes, those and Black Gold as information.
Okay. All in favor? That's good. All right. 8.1, disposal of assets. Hey, Donna, you want to speak to that?
Yes, thank you. So basically, we have a policy inside the RFP, provides the ability to disperse municipal assets for sale, destruction, or charity. And the current policy only provides sale with $1,000 limit. And this policy will come to council in the new year that's updated and reflects the proper authorities needed to function efficiently. But for now, we'll move with this policy. So property to be dispersed and looked at, of course, is the desk set from RGO that's currently within the bylaw office. It doesn't function. We can't find the actual prices in the invoices. However, we kind of anticipate the entire set was based on the former CEO furniture at $5,100. So we believe the current desk set is at least $3,000. We wish to disperse it for about $2,500 or donate it to charity. We can't have a buyer. It is a cubicle set, but we looked at some of the numbers underneath it, and it's just different pieces of furniture. It's not a criticism. It just doesn't function for it. It's extremely heavy, and we're not even sure it's set up right in there now, to be quite honest with you. But we don't have a picture of it. We don't have a reason for it, but it's very cumbersome, and really only kind of 1.5 people can sit behind it. So we'd like to disperse of that, and then we want to start entertaining scrap dealers, and the county's given us theirs to look at the water treatment plant that's been decommissioned, and has a lot of steel and valves and so forth, and also the 2 buildings at the intake. Now, there's a huge scale in the decommissioned water treatment plant that's worth a lot of money. It's a big scale. And at the intake, there is a standing depot scale as well as an overhead crane that I think is about 5 tons that we would bring back to the public workshop. Now, I just want to get close, and I want to get some idea of what it would cost to decommission that. It makes no sense to me to have that old water treatment plant sitting there. It absolutely makes no sense. And I understand it's probably expensive, so on and so forth. But I'm interested in the scrap value at this point. There's local scrap dealers here, and the county has one, so we can put out a call for quotes and tenders, which is a problem. We'll also work with our engineers as well. And so my recommendation is to request a motion from you or discussion from you to move forward with the disbursement, finalizing the destruction of the old water treatment plant, clean up the river intake, and of course, the dispersal of the desk, and to find something that fits us a little better here in these offices.
Anybody have any comments on that?
I guess, yeah, I mean, there's the 2 different things, I guess 3 different things. The desk and stuff, that's fine, other than I don't want to go spend a bunch more money on other furniture.
No. We have
furniture.
furniture to put in there.
Yeah, so,
There's no spending.
so, under the presumption that we will not be spending more money to replace it, I would move to allow for the disposal of the desk set that's currently within the bylaw office for no less than $2,500, or donate it to charity as proposed.
Thank you, Councilor.
In favor? That's carried.
Okay, so then there's the other thing, though, there's kind of a couple of different issues, the old water treatment plant and then the river intake, right, they're kind of separate. I know there's a lot of stuff down at the intake that's valuable.
100%.
Should it be appropriately dealt with, right? If you just talk to a scrap dealer, you're gonna get 10 cents on the dollar. If you actually deal with it, you'll get good money for some of it.
That's correct.
So I guess that's part of my concern is, yes, if you say it's scrap metal, we're gonna get very little. If we say it's a viable commodity, there's some good stuff down there that's brand new.
Brilliant, yes,
So I guess that's
absolutely.
my concern, is I don't wanna say it's scrap metal.
I think exactly what you're saying, like the electrical stuff, I think there's some stuff,
There's some pumps and stuff down there.
but some of them pumps are probably, they're obsolete. I don't know that. I don't know that, but, I suspect, I mean, the way technology goes nowadays, it is probably. But there again, when you're doing it, try and sell it so they can use again. If not, then it goes to scrap. Go ahead, Andrew.
There's actually a couple, motors down in the river intake that have been rebuilt and are sitting wrapped on pallets.
Yeah. that's-
Right, so those things, I mean, get somebody in the know, come and look at them, and they'll be the judge of whether it can be sold or whether it's obsolete, I guess.
We'll call it a dispersal.
I mean, to some extent, I'd rather have, instead of just saying call a scrap dealer, I'd rather have us take the time and effort to go through and load stuff up, maybe take it to an auction. At least you're gonna get something for it, maybe. I mean, it's still a gambling, maybe you get scrap metal price for it, but maybe you get something.
Yeah, that's an idea. We do want to do an inventory. so
Well, yeah,
that we
I
know-
mean, there's some garbage there, which fine, but let's go through the good stuff first, I guess, is my concern.
No, not to worry. We'll do an inventory of it for sure. And then, we might just maybe we'll call an auction house too and put it out there too. You can do that as well. I certainly have some connections with that too. We lose some commission, but there's people that want that stuff. So we might just do an open auction as well. What I'd like to do is get the inventory done in the spring so you know what
Yeah.
you want to disperse. We could hold it for I have no problem with that. That's actually a better idea. And then we can inventory everything, list everything with all our serial numbers and everything, what it is. And then, we can decide if we want to go auction or haul it somewhere. It's better to have an auction than you pick it up, haul it away themselves, and we buy the lot.
Like, get rid of some of the garbage too, if you just package it in with some of the good stuff.
That would be my thought.
Well, yeah, if this lot has a really good thing in it and a bunch of garbage, but they gotta take the whole lot, so.
I just look at the copper, like some of those big lines down there, like this big around, right? The darn tooth is full of copper. And there is an
Maybe
awesome,
nobody's tried to steal them yet. because
I'm surprised, yeah.
The way they steal on the rigs and the cable, electrical cables, and,
Yeah.
go ahead.
So my thought on it is actually trying to find a salvage crew to come in, instead of a scrap metal crew coming in, an actual salvage crew, because there is still stuff in the ground that's salvageable.
Yeah.
To try and get as much as we possibly can for it.
I was just gonna question the scrap metal prices, if there's a high and low time, or if it's predictable when they're high and low. Because there's sometimes when it's not even worth driving it down the highway.
Yeah.
There's some of those buildings down there, I mean, are obsolete and useless too. I know we had talked previously about literally saying somebody wants to disassemble and remove it, and, you know, I mean, if we get a couple bucks for it, but I mean, saves us the cost of demolishing it, if nothing else, I don't know.
Yeah, there'd be people that I think we want to keep one of the shacks, smaller shack maybe, or I can't remember which one, but I mean, somebody would use those.
Well, that's just it. Somebody would go out of their way and disassemble and save us all the, you know, cost at least, that it's full of garbage, now that we've taken the scrap out, but it's full of garbage, but you have to remove it, you know, entirely if you want the buildings. Might be cheaper to give them the building than to pay for the cleanup.
Yeah, no, that makes total sense. There's a gorgeous oak desk down there that will not be sold. It's coming here. We'll clean it up. It's stunning. It's just been sitting there.
Yes, in regards to one of those buildings that's down there, I'm trying to work it into a plan of almost an exchange. We have King Marine that does our dive for us 2 times a year, that are looking for a spot that's close to the river where they can actually store their stuff. So I'm gonna try and work out a contract with them where they can have use of one of the buildings in exchange for
Dive services.
dive services for us.
Well, that'd be awesome, because they're just unused. I think there's multiple buildings that are literally just empty, collecting.
We'll probably
the
store
spider
our
webs.
leaves in there too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we
we store
it.
buoys.
Yeah, it'd be our buoys and whoever else I do on the river, and in exchange.
That'd be a great idea.
They wouldn't charge us for our dives.
Yeah, instead of paying for a lease, they get space.
Yeah.
That'd be a great option.
We've got lots of combinations of permutations, so we just wanted, you're okay to begin a process of some sort to let you know what the inventory is, what the options that we'll have. We may not get this till spring, but we're gonna start working on it this winter, so we can.
Well, I thought that was my concern, is are we starting talking about it, or are we just sending it all to a scrap dealer, because they're
No.
now in that? So if we're saying, let's start looking at it,
Yeah.
great, we should have been looking at it years ago, so.
Well, exactly, that's,
But the scrap
water
here-
treatment plant, what do you do with that? There's still a tank underneath it, right?
Yes, there's still a cistern there, yeah.
I mean, basically, you probably could just stop to demolish the whole thing, so, can't do it.
Well, there's some, yeah, I agree with you, there's some stuff in there that you could rip out for salvage, but it's not like, yeah, the building itself
But
needs to
there,
go.
like I said, it's gotta go, we're just supposed, just leave it at.
Well, you can't even use it
at
for
times.
storage.
Sometimes you have to get rid of it.
Somebody's gonna get in there and get hurt.
Well, it's-
We're
yeah,
lucky so far.
like I say, I don't think it's even viable for storage anymore.
That's too dangerous.
Yeah, so that's like, it needs to come down, because it's gonna come down.
100%.
First pigeons.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't been in there for a few years, and the last time I was in there was pretty bad, so it's a few years worse now, and it was bad then.
I would say Council Gilbert is badder now.
Well, yeah, it was not good when I was last in there.
Good list now.
I was uncomfortable being in there in case a strong wind came along back then.
Oh, yeah, you wanna wear a hazmat suit in there right now.
Yeah, like it's the thing, yeah.
So if you're comfortable, Councilor Gilbert, instead of, I just put scrap in here just for the RC, but we can call it disbursement, we can call it inventory disbursement, and then we'll find the right way to disperse for the maximum amount of.
Okay, well, I would move to provide direction to administration begin looking at a plan for disposal and disbursement of the water treatment plant and river intake unused assets and report back accordingly.
All in favor?
Oh, one question, Mr. Mayor, Councilor Gilbert, you said report back quarterly?
No, don't report back accordingly.
Oh, thank you. Okay,
Yeah.
quarterly. Oh.
No, report, once there's a plan, once there's, I get it's a process, but yeah, like I said, I don't want to just willy-nilly say dispose of it, because it could be a valuable disposal, or it could be a huge liability disposal.
100%. No, I was just trying to think how I was gonna report to you quarterly.
No, accordingly, just, yeah, no, like, once we have a plan, we'll talk about it again, yeah, that's, yeah.
I heard accordingly.
I, clarify a moment. Thanks, Councilor Gilbert.
All right, 8.2, ATCO franchise fees,
Turn this one over to, CFO Cindy, please, Your Worship.
All right, so after budget and the little predicament we're in, we can raise our franchise fees from ATCO up to 35% from 20. So it would give us another 50,000. And in doing so, we would actually help. Yes, I know. But there are people that don't pay taxes, like schools and churches. So, but they do use high amounts of utilities. So, this would help. Like it would put some burden on them instead of just the residential tax.
So, yes, it is a hidden tax, it is taxing people, but it's not taxing people across the board, like we were just saying. It attacks people who use utilities. So it actively cuts the taxes for people who have vacant lots and or derelict lots that have no services and puts that burden on people who actually live here and actually use utilities here. I would rather just increase taxes than increase this.
Okay, well, then, if that's what you'd like to do, then, we're already at a 5% tax increase, so then in order to get the extra public works person, and if we increase the agro franchise fees, we could get the extra public works person starting in April, because we can't, we need, so this is kind of all encompassing as per our conversation on Sunday, but we cannot cancel the contract with D&J because we need 2 water treatment people, and right now, our guys are not qualified, they need their level 2, which will take at least a year. So we need to have D&J's contract filled. So if we have that, we don't have the money for the public works person. So in order to get the public works person, we would have to increase taxes another almost 5%. So a 9% tax increase or raise franchise.
But we're increasing it that much either way, but just putting on someone's tax bill as transparent, we're still raising the taxes that much. We're just doing it in a hidden, nebulous way that's not transparent.
But we're also hitting people that don't pay any property tax.
But you're also not taxing people who have vacant property that they sit on, and there's a lot of people
But at
who
least
have...
they're paying tax at a higher rate than a residential person. Schools and churches pay 0 income tax.
So when I look at the schedule, A, I see that Edmonton is at the max, Wetaskiwin is at, there's Blackpool, Caroline.
Oh, there's a small handful, but there's also some that are 0.
Yeah.
So we can charge 0, or we can charge the max, or we can charge it. There is some that are 0. I'd rather be 0 and be transparent. This is a hidden tax that is less than transparent. People don't understand it, and people don't like these hidden charges on their utility bills. They just don't understand that we're the ones that are inflicting that cost on them.
They do. So if we were to do it, it wouldn't hit us till March. Because we have to let them know that they have to advertise it and then get approval. So it is a process, so it probably wouldn't hit us till March.
So how much do you think, like, when you're talking about vacant lots, I mean, that would, like, it wouldn't be a whole lot of money.
Well, it'd be 35% of whatever a bill would be for a house. So I don't know what everybody's gas bill is. I think mine was $130, but I had a really low rate.
So in the meantime, you've got the school board, high school, right? Places like that you don't get any taxes for these guys.
But that's provide a service that we need. If the school left Thorsby and went to Warburg or something instead, we'd be very upset about that. So why are we penalizing? The schools and churches are the only ones that are not paying taxes. That's the schools and churches, and that's it. Otherwise, everyone pays taxes.
So if
I guess the RCMP and such, the other levels of government buildings, but there's few of those as well.
If you do look at a bill, like on my bill, it says municipal franchise paid to Stony Point. So it's very clear that it's paid to the town of Thorsby on your bill.
I believe
It's required to state it accordingly.
So it's not hidden.
It is though. It's a shady backdoor to increasing taxes.
Is there any way of altering the taxes on the empty lots?
Oh, you guys can change the mill rate on those if you want.
We did that
But
last
it's
year.
already,
Yeah, it says municipal franchise fee paid to.
It is
And right now on my
required to state
bill, it's $8.52.
Stony Plain's
Stony
at
Plain's
the 35.
35,
They're at the
yeah.
35. They're one of the few that are at the max. I don't want to join the few that are at the max.
I also don't
Our mill
increase
rates are already high, but everyone already accepts that our mill rates are high.
But they're gonna be another at least 10% higher.
Our mill rates are already acknowledged as being some of the highest in the province. Why are we going to join the few that are the highest as far as franchise fees as well?
Well, I
Just
guess
double
comes
tax
to,
last year.
Well, I knew we needed to raise them higher, but
Double last year.
You want-
The tax rate last year, I mean, cover all this.
well, now, yeah. Either we, took the hit last year, or we take it again this year, we'll be taking it every year.
you know, I just feel that, you know, one thing about.
But yeah, but they're gonna get it
It's a user
regardless, right?
The more you use, the more you're gonna pay. Right?
You want to use it.
Whereas, you know, if you're gonna put it through on your taxes, it's a flat tax for everybody right across. So really, by putting on the user fee, it.
You're more in
makes more
control
sense.
of that than.
Oh, you are, it makes more sense. It makes the user pays.
So we call it an elastic tax, a franchise fee.
Anyhow, I guess not.
Okay, so that's a prime example. So you're actively penalizing somebody who has an older house who's probably not flush with cash because they don't have the money to rip apart their house and redo the insulation or put in a higher efficient furnace. You're actively penalizing the people who don't have money to be more efficient.
They're still gonna get a
So
hit
when you-
regardless.
It's either one hand or the other.
Can we alter this franchise fee in a year's time?
Yeah, you can put it down at any time, you,
Put it up.
every year, but if we go to 35, we're at the max, right? So,
If we
so
went
if
up for
next
a
year we're in
year.
a better financial position, you can drop it.
Yeah.
I mean, we can, they come every year and ask if what we want to do, so.
Well, I guess.
I'd rather see it go for a year than reverse it.
Yeah.
I guess it's up down to somebody wants to put the motion one way or the other.
Is this part of the budget, or we have to make this decision?
I think they need an answer as part of the budget. Yes.
And this will solve
Part of the,
Part of the problem.
part of the problem.
Your worship, we can delay this motion until more of the budget is presented and come back to it.
My take on it, if we're taxing them, at least say you're taxing them.
So we just delay it till we see what, when you look at all the taxes, put it all together.
That is your purview, Mr. Mayor. You
Yeah, we'll just delay it,
need a motion to delay till budget's been presented.
thank you, John, all in favor? All right. And let's get straight at it, 8.3, budget.
Okay, so, like I said, when we talked,
Do we have a copy of it, or is it on the,
do you have your one from last time? I didn't print everybody again, 'cause
can we have it up?
yeah, I can put it up.
This is the, we can only do one. We tried,
Yeah.
the computer doesn't have the HDMI port.
Okay.
We'll have to try it, unfortunately.
So this is where we ended up, last time.
Or he has his hand up?
Correct.
Well, like I said, when I emailed, I'm sure things have changed as of Sunday. Yes, I wasn't there Sunday, I was sick, my bad, but at the same time, I'm sure things have changed since Sunday. I need an updated current copy.
I don't have updated, so I haven't printed any copies for you. The one that you have on your desk is the last copy. I
Nothing changed on Sunday?
Nothing changed. I was asked to bring back more stuff. So now I've done all the work and now we're there. And I don't know why this is not here.
It helps me with that TV more flush.
It's not working. It's not connected.
The rest is-
I don't know. Okay, so where we ended up last time was here with a deficit of Then I was given direction to do the water treatment plant stuff. However, after we had conversation with Dave, it was discovered we can't do that right now. We would still need the MJ to do backup. So, we said it probably isn't right to make waves and cancel that contract right now because, we still need that. So better to leave things as they are, let Andrew and Chris get their level 1 and level 2. Then we can look at maybe doing that next year. So then I did,
Go ahead, Gordy.
What is the cost of getting level 1 and level 2 water operator courses?
I haven't gotten a price on that.
Okay, so I guess my concern is we do have a high turnover in staff. I don't know that there's any way that it's justifiable to spend any significant amount of time or money. When we have a third-party contractor, it's their problem to ensure that they have qualified staff. You don't need to muddy the waters, as far as I'm concerned, by getting involved in that because we do have a high turnover in staff. You're going to be constantly trying to send somebody. You do need always the 2, and we're never going to have the 2 because of the turnover we have.
Under our liability insurance, it's mandatory for public works to at least have a level 1. Any water main breaks, we are required to have our level 1. We take responsibility for any contamination in the water during the water main break. Even though we have a third party, the town is still liable.
So a level 1, to do the course, what is it? Sarah, Donnie, do you have any idea what the cost is or the duration? How long does it take to get it?
Well, you have so many points if you go to the conference. Correct me if I'm wrong, Andrew. You've been to the conference.
Would you like me?
Yeah, please.
So, with both Chris and I being in both, as long as we have the processes that we've been through already, we may be able to bypass the schooling portion for our level 1s and just write the final exam.
That'd be a lot more palatable, because at least not the huge cost of time, right? If it's a lot of man hours dedicated to school if you have to go to school.
It's all online for level 1 anyways.
So to do it though,
Yeah.
I'm assuming you're not doing it on your own free time, I'm assuming you want to get paid for it. So it's a lot of
Yeah.
cost to the town still.
Yeah. Overall, it's going to be the board, the water and wastewater board that decides whether or not we're allowed to do that. As for the level 2, again, it's still going to be a cost no matter what because we have to get so many points throughout the year, and that's online courses, that's going to seminars, that's going to conferences. You get 0.5 points for each thing that you go to. You have to accumulate in 1 year, I think it's 35 points in total.
35 CUEs, yeah.
Yeah, CUEs, in order to continue on with your level 1 throughout the year. So,
So irregardless, we would have to send one of our public works to get there.
yes,
It's a requirement, no matter what.
it is, yeah, and I'm not exactly sure how the town has managed to get away with it this long. If anything was to happen, we were 100% liable.
I know in the past that DMJ literally attended water main breaks and stuff for this reason. I mean, as far as I understand, that's part of their contract.
They're a third party that doesn't cover us through insurance.
Doesn't count.
That has always been in the past the accepted, what the answer has always been is that as long as they attend, they are, representing the town. They're under contract, but they are a contractor of the town who's managing the water treatment. Like it's always been considered acceptable before. I don't know what's changed.
The contract is with the water treatment plant. And with AMSC, they're asking for it. So I'm not opposed to education. I can't be opposed to education. I have to protect the town.
Oh, and I think you could always put in there that I know in our industry before training, and if they leave the town, employee in 6 months or a year, they have to pay back.
That's a standard, just comes off your final check.
Yeah, so I mean, you can protect the town in that way.
So like, is this wastewater, obviously Nate provides these certifications, and the level 1, so does that involve 6 courses? Is that what level 1 entails?
Yeah, so the 6 courses is in order to get your, CUEs.
So yeah, and it depends which like there's 3 specialized certifications: wastewater, water distribution, water treatment. The 6 courses for the level 1 would be around $3,300. It looks like for Nate, but there's probably extra fees on top of that.
The water wastewater organization also offers courses as well, such as the association. So, we'd have to look at the best prices, but we're obliged.
So did we budget how much did we budget for those amounts?
Or you can do one person this year and one person the next year.
Now, if the exam can be challenged, there's nothing wrong with that either. It's
Yeah.
up to the board, and if there's enough experience, then you can challenge.
Yeah, I don't see, I don't know how we got away with it all of a sudden.
That's one of the things that caught me off guard when the comment was made to me by a previous staff member was that, sounds to me a level is what.
So do we know this for a fact? We have it written somewhere that we're not just taking somebody's word for it?
The insurance company has been in contact with us.
Okay.
And
Good question.
Yeah, just because we thought we could do something else, and now we know we can't. So I'm just now going to question everything, right?
That the interpretation is correct.
Yeah, because we thought we could get rid of the contractor, and we can't.
Well, we can,
No, that's always been the case.
but you have to have.
No, but at the budget meeting, it was
Yeah,
kind of.
I wasn't here on Sunday, but I.
Yeah, well, I knew, I kept.
If I had been here, I would
Yeah.
already, I mean, we've already had that discussion
I know,
previous,
yeah.
and yeah, that's kind of.
But somebody from the past interpreted it to be correct, but now somebody's interpreted it to be not.
But I'm talking about like
Yeah.
the fact that we needed a level 2, and I kept asking, are we missing anything? Are we missing
You have
anything? And none
the
of us.
redundant backup,
Yeah,
vacation,
yeah,
sickness,
yeah.
whatever, you always need to have the second person.
Yeah, that's why I kept saying, like, I don't feel comfortable with this, but
Well, that's why I'm doing our homework.
I mean, it should have been done prior, I guess.
Well, honestly, it was brought up the morning before the budget meeting. So that was a scenario. And so after the budget meeting, I said we need to have a meeting with Dave and find out all the details. And so, because we would never do something
Well, yeah, obviously,
without making sure that.
but that was a big chunk.
Eventually, when you get enough training, then it's not a problem.
And even in talking to Dave, the town has dropped the ball on this for years by not having our own.
So is our goal to have Andrew and Chris train to level 2? Then why would we keep
Because you need a level 3.
Dave?
The level 3
Yeah.
plan, level 3 plan. And with water distribution, we need,
At least one level 3, at least one level.
But we had Bill for a long time that was a level 3, so he was the backup, wasn't he?
Yeah.
So the town didn't not have that for a while.
And things changed. I built on.
Bill went to Drayton. Oh, he went to Drayton.
He went to Drayton first, and then from.
Okay, so you've got one level.
And if you challenge the test, is it a full,
Got one.
if
Yeah,
challenged on
and
$3,300, would it be $3,300?
No, you just write the test. So is there the possibility to look for a part-time level 2 contractor or anything like that? Like talk to Drayton, talk to Drumheller, like the thought
The problem
process.
is when you have a contractor, apparently that's not acceptable. we already have a contractor,
Oh,
we're being
so
told
our-
it's not acceptable.
But our staff has to have level 1, not level 2.
I think after a while, they need level 2 because that's the wastewater. It has nothing to do with the distribution one, it has to do with the water, wastewater in the pipe.
So if we got a level 2, then we could sever the contract,
Yeah.
hire Dave full-time,
That's right.
and then we have a level 3.
Level 2.
I'm looking into that as well. I'm also trying to see if there's a chance of getting a main student that is working on their either level 3 or level 2.
I mean, the whole
that would
point
qualify for that.
of the level 2 is coverage, right? It's not Dave is the man,
Coverage and ticket.
and then the level 2 is to cover for vacations and stuff like that. So I mean, maybe is a possibility to have some, standby on call.
I mean, like I say, in my mind, it's, I mean, the $3,300 or whatever for the actual course is like a non-issue. It's the, holy crap, the amount of time and man hours that go into the, actually doing the education. That's a huge expense. So I mean, I guess if we're able to just challenge it, I'm like, well, I don't find this is a non-issue. But if we're actually saying like, no, somebody's gonna spend weeks and weeks and weeks of man hours that we're paying for, like, well, that's a huge expense. Like that's I guess my concern.
You know, I mean, the thing that we're kind of missing out here is that, I mean, we're looking at ways to try to save some money here. And I mean, nobody was upset with the contract we have, there's reasons for it, just what you're saying. But I mean, in the long range, we want to try and, just what we're doing, reduce the budget. And that's why we started this whole thing, so
But I mean, yeah, so if we could get rid of the contractor, have Dave as our level 3, and look for a level 2 to.
So I mean, it's just, I just feel that, we're starting to point some fingers here, and
We're not pointing any fingers, we're just saying,
We're trying to save some money here, and it didn't work, so now we have to go back and put something.
but no, Andrew's also trying to save money too by looking for that level 2, so I think we're on a good track with that.
As in the next hiree that would come with a level 2, is that what you're suggesting?
Yeah, so I'm looking through Nate, because my biggest thing is that we get Nate in here, because we've got such a fantastic facility. We get Nate in here, that's additional money that'll be rolling in for us. So if I can work to try and get somebody that's possibly working on their level 3 at a reduced cost to pay them
For practical placement.
that'll cover us for days, holidays, and stuff like that. But it also gets needed for the it's my own. Either way we look at it, Public Works, minimum of 2 people have to have their level.
Okay, any other
Okay,
questions
so-
on that? Yeah, go ahead.
With doing that, putting the water contract back in,
Okay, yep.
putting the franchise fees, I just adjusted them to 43.7, that would be like 9 months worth.
At which rate?
The 35, that's the increase. And then, the 5% tax increase, we're still at a $12,000 deficit. Public Works guys starting in April. So then you're looking at a 6% tax increase. Or we cut other places.
Yeah, we haven't even looked at anything else in regards to budgets and what can be cut and administration and staffing or any of that stuff. This is just the way it was with those couple changes, right?
So this was contract bylaw, this is contract bylaw, an extra half a position in the office, and then, Andrew,
Like on your position.
that's what I said, half
Oh,
contract.
sorry.
And then a 1 position starting in April in Public Works. That's this scenario.
So to
And keep in mind too, this is zero savings, like there's nothing going into reserves this year, absolutely nothing.
So to alleviate this deficit, then you're saying that tax increases are two.
Yeah, if I change this, That's what the problem is, 1% tax increase is $14,000. Nothing. Yeah.
Any other questions on that? What probably do is, go ahead, John.
That with increasing the franchise fees?
Yes.
Take the franchise fees out.
Take it out, that's what you're looking at for a deficit.
Nice.
So I guess the big question everybody's, is the administration, right?
And that, oh, sorry, and I did cut some more stuff out, like I took 1,000 here, 1,000 there, like I cut, communities in bloom from 8 to 7, I took some more stuff out of public works. There was just a few, like, little things that I took out to try to, here I went down to 30 from 31, and down here I went, I think it was higher.
What did we have budgeted last year for the meter program that was supposed to start last year?
18.5.
18.5, I thought it was like $90,000.
So yeah, he had fuel at 35, and I put it down to 30.
So where's the meter thing here?
It's in capital.
No, okay, yeah, I saw it in there, but I wasn't seeing it here, so.
Yeah. It's on the capital budget. So here's, I'll show you.
Well, I do take note of that.
Oh, okay.
I didn't see it here, but I just, yes.
No, because I just did a completely separate budget for capital. Because I think that led to the problems in the past, is they had a separate capital budget, but they were budgeting using capital dollars in the operating budget, and they weren't transferring the money over to capital. So it gave a false sense of security. So now I've just not included capital in that budget at all. and I've
Which
just
is what
removed
it should
it.
be anyhow, because.
I've just removed it.
Where are you pulling this funding from then?
Pardon?
There's not anything transferred to reserves or anything here, like this is all.
I'm pulling the funding from MSI and gas tax that we have in, it's all from grants, and then a couple things from reserves. Because if I can't pull it from operating, or we're at another $37,000 deficit.
Right.
So. Because we can't use grants for the rec stuff, because Woody County won't fund it if grants are coming.
Or your question.
I understand that yes, it came before this meter replacement, and that's a huge amount of money, and we don't have a single road or sidewalk really in here of any description. I don't think that's, meter replacement shouldn't be as high of a priority, we need to work on roads and sidewalks.
Well, but with meter replacement, we're losing money by having old meters that are 30 years old, because they're not reading properly, so we're losing money. And the only thing, like, we need to find revenue in this town, because we're dying. We have no revenue.
It doesn't matter how great the rec center is if nobody can get there because the road's falling apart.
Well, there's a whole ton of money spent last year, Council Robert, and the roads are all falling apart with that so-called paving crew that was in here last year. You gotta redo it all. Your road is atrocious. Atrocious. I'm saying that's your fault, I'm just saying the road's atrocious, but then we're gonna have,
What we're spending on capital, all that stuff is funded through the grant.
Through the grant.
Yeah, so I mean, it doesn't affect our operating budget whatsoever.
No, it's not.
Okay, I just wanted to understand that, right? So all the stuff that's up there, none of that is in our.
Grants and reserves. So I have 9,300 coming from sidewalk reserves to do the sidewalk at the rec center. And then I have, 27 coming from rec reserves.
So you, sorry, go ahead.
1,000, not 100.
Sorry, just in regards to what Councilor Gilbert there said about the roads, I agree with you, the roads and sidewalks are falling apart. The difference is that I can get grants for roads. I can't
I thought you were looking.
It's our gas taxes is what we're gonna end up using for it. Our meters are way past due. We're, like you said, we're losing money. It's money that's going through those pipelines that is going into people's houses and we're not collecting on what we process. I could do something about that by starting to work on it now, which will eventually lead to being able to redo the roads and the infrastructure. The town's been let go for way too long. We gotta find kind of our less expensive start somewhere, to start.
None of this capital is funded. So if you want to explain there how we've got carry forward with all of our MSI, we haven't received any of that money yet. Nope. It's sitting there, but we have to have a plan before we get it. And then once we come up with a plan, like the meters, for example, you put it in there, we will get that money. So it's not coming out of operating.
So all $587,000 is grant, and it's not
No, not
coming
all of
from
it's grant.
taxes.
There's $36,377 $367 that's coming out of reserves. Because I can't fund the rec center capital from grants, because then the county will not contribute.
So I mean, sure, you can knock back some of that capital you want, but it's not part of our operating.
Yeah,
It's not
gonna
affecting
affect
our
the tax.
budget.
This
right
does
now.
not affect the tax rate whatsoever.
No, I was just saying, I feel like there's other priorities instead of the water meters, it's a huge amount of money.
Well,
I realize it doesn't change the operating
Yeah.
budget, I can, there's other.
but in order to do a road, it's $1 million. We don't have $1 million to do a road either, so.
We're debentured up the wazoo. We gotta look at a leasing program to get rid of some debentures in the new year. That's our plan as well. And, we shouldn't be buying all this big equipment. How much is in your budget, Andrew, roughly for debentures, over 300 and some odd?
Well, the total we spend on debentures a year is over almost $400,000.
$400,000. We've debentured a lawnmower, as I've said before, worth $8,000. We still owe $3,000 on it for 4 years.
That's why we're in the position we are right now.
We've got to deal with that, and so we deal with that through leasing. We need pumps. We have no choice. Our main pump at the intake is leaking. We have.
Oh, yeah, I'm not objecting to the pump.
No. I'm just giving you the rundown. No, I'm not interpreting that. So we have to look at that. We have no choice. We have to rebuild some of them, et cetera. So, I wish, I would say this, and I'm just saying it, I wish the over 700 some odd thousand, whatever was spent last year on roads would have been done, so we don't have to redo it again. I'm sorry, that's the way it is. It is what it is. It's done, it's passed. We have to move forward. This is the way to move forward. One step at a time. We have to move forward on this. This also enables us to bring income into this town, and this is painful. I'm not liking this any more than you folks are. Neither is Cindy, neither is Kelly, neither is Andrew.
I don't stay here till midnight.
No, we've been here long hours. You don't know it, but we've been here long hours trying to figure this out the best way we can. And we do have a starting point with this. We can balance this budget and move forward. We don't know what the adjustments are going to be in the spring, so this is an interim budget. But we have one source of income other than tax, and that's water. And we're discussing that. We're moving forward with new stuff. You'll know in the new year. There's no decisions made, so don't think that way. But we have no choice. But we have to correct some infrastructure. And had our pump service in 11 years. That's a long time.
And we've worn out the spare pump. We have no pump.
And we have, I don't know my calculator.
And this is, I want to say,
Now, the sidewalk, Kelly, sorry, Mr. Mayor, Kelly, the sidewalk repair, we take out a reserve, the county then assists us with that. Correct? Yes. Yeah. So I believe there's a 60% return on that investment.
yeah, so 61,000 of the capital.
isn't pretty. We do have the means to fix the little sidewalk piece over at Taylor Park. We can do that. In case we have to dig it up again, it won't be hard to do.
But if you're gonna do a road and a sidewalk, you have to do everything under.
Well, and which one do you start? You've had a list for 5 years, and stuff that was at the top of the list hasn't been done. Hopscotch, some other stuff down there, right?
So the priority, the pecking order was anywhere there's a known water main break and a known sewer issue was the priority, and that is exactly the order we did it in. That's,
So which street do you start on? Whereas at least with your meters, I mean, that's a plan, and that's, I don't see any issues with anything on that capital myself.
A lot of municipalities never took into effect, and a lot of municipalities changed their meters. And so, I can't give you percentages or anything, I can give the use percentage if you so choose for the meeting, but saw a definite increase, because you could be leaking hundreds of gallons of water through meters where we're not being able to collect them, because they're older, they're not registering or whatever. And we can only do what the meter reader says we're doing. And the new meters are not built like these meters. They're state-of-the-art meters. We don't have to drive around, check them with a gun and all that sort of stuff. So it's state-of-the-art. That's all
They'll read themselves, they'll detect leaks, so all those things are benefits to our ratepayers too. Because how many people get angry when they get a water bill for $400 and say, how come you didn't tell me I had a leak? We didn't know.
We have no capacity of that right now. So it's all the groundwork and preparation for moving forward. And this is important in our opinion. That's council's determination.
I knew running would be last year of our term when we dabbled in infrastructure or road or sidewalks. They're still there. They weren't there, they were assuming that last council they dealt with the problem as it came. We're going to
We can handle that as well. Now, we may come across, I mean, I don't know what's going to happen in the next 18 months. I don't have a paper shade ball here, but at least we're at a point for Cindy and I where Cindy can focus more on the actuarial stuff, more analyzing the budget stuff. My job is going to be to get water here, get water distribution. That's my job. Make sure I'm on that thing before. I mean, that's not what I do day-to-day as CEO. But we have to get income. And maybe I'll get a grant coming up, maybe for a lift station for sewer in the industrial park, working on that. I have no answers for you yet. Because we're not going to sell one lot in there. We're not going to sell one lot without sewer. It's not going to happen. And we can let that sit for years and years and years to come, or we can diligently look. We're working with the Water for Life folks on that as well. And so it's a whole lot of things in the works. This is I guess we're presenting this to you as our baseline. Start. And we have the government saying to us, please attach some projects to this money. We didn't know we had it. They worked with us, and these developers worked with us very diligently, which is very nice. They worked with Cindy and got all that straightened out for us because it wasn't straightened out. So we had to work with them. The manager of the program is a CPA as well. She's terrific, there's no question about it, and she got us all straightened out. And nothing that we did, we just couldn't straighten out the last 3.5 years. So, yeah, we'll fix it this year. At least it's palatable to the provincial government right now. We're reporting it. They understand. So, I guess this is our baseline. It's not pretty, it's not fun.
Well, and I think some of the water meters were changed out a few years ago, and they did show to be inaccurate, and people were ranting on Facebook, upset because their bills had gone up. But if it's factual, and so then that they're ranting, there was an upset because there was an increase, so evidently we are losing money.
Well, you look at that meter that was, correct me if I'm wrong, Andrew, you were thinking the same thing. Go ahead, I'll let you take it.
So the meter that CEO Donna's talking about was 7.3% in favor of the occupancy.
That's a lot of water.
So, yeah, that's just one.
Town has to stop. It has to stop.
We have to recover the pennies. That includes even internal.
Basically, we're looking at water and sewer on a capital. Neglected for quite a bit, and it has to be done, it's essential.
And your worship, we still have select engineering, plan. It's still there, it's still valid, of what they expect the next batch to do once we have more money for capital. And if we can free up some debentures, absolutely. But we gotta look for a combination of grant, and I don't like debenturing roads if we can help it, because we need that money for emergencies, but at least if we've got, at least about $1 million freed up, $750,000 freed up, then we can offset a bit with grant, and we can go back to Jared's capital, plan with roads and sewers, and he and I chatted this afternoon for quite a bit, and we can bring that back at any time this spring. Things, our fortunes may change, but things may change, and that's why we do spring budget adjustments. So it's not like it's never on the table, it's just we can't justify it on the table.
I mean, I'm hoping estimate values go up,
Yeah.
and then taxes can go down, not go down, but the increase won't be as high. That's my guess, I hope. I know talking to somebody from the county of Parkland, she said their assessments are up quite a bit, so I don't know what's happening in Thorsby. Seems to be a lot of house sales going on, tax certificates like crazy. But I don't, so, and until we get those assessments back, I can't. If they go down, then I'm trouble again, so I have zero control over that.
So it's through budget. Everything needs.
Okay, what else?
Well, I don't know what else you want to talk about.
Well,
Like, do you want to,
we're gonna do like we did with the ankle, we'll delay the date, motion until we do our in-camera and talk about the administration, right?
I mean, I can show you the scenarios, a couple of them.
Sure. Yeah. And then we'll go, take a break, go in camera, and then we'll discuss it, and then we'll come back, and then we'll look at the budget again.
Okay, so this one is, bylaw, full-time for 2 months, till the end of February, increases, and then that public works position starting in April, with the increase in franchise fees, so we're still $17,000 deficit, so you're looking at 5% increase. That one. And then this one is bylaw, 2 days a week. Public works. 2 days a week till the end of February, and then, officer will come on, and the position for public works.
So that's without making any other changes in regard to clerks and public works.
That's adding the public works person in
Right,
April.
but not making like,
So I know in your email you said
Yeah.
Casey comes over now, but that's got to stop in January because there's no money. So Casey
but he's
won't-
already, oh, right, because he was budgeted for 2020.
So he won't be back in 2 days a week like he is now, come January, because there's no money for it.
But is Kelly budgeting him for full-time for ICE for,
But I can't give them the hours.
right, but you budgeted for it though,
Yeah, but I can alter that.
but we can't get, like, that's what the issue is, right? You budgeted for them, for John and Casey, basically for full-time hours for the first quarter.
Yeah, so if I reduce her budget and add it to public
No,
works.
but I'm not, Yeah, I'm just saying,
We
if
don't get-
she's budgeted for it for the first quarter, then Casey's still there, if the
No,
ice
he's
time
not.
isn't.
No, he's not, because we only pay 40 cents on the dollar, because the county subsidizes about 60% of our,
Like, whatever hours he's doing in public work,
the town's
but
on.
technically it should not be put under my rec budget, because
So
her
her budget,
budget cost share.
I didn't know they paid for stuff, I thought it
they
was.
pay for operating, everything.
Operating is possible. But if he's not required to work, say, 8 hours a day, he won't be there, you know. No, right, he's not. Like, right now, I'm only averaging 3 or 4 shifts a week for him, and those are even 8-hour shifts. So then, on his extra days off, he tops up 2 days at public work. But I can't use my budget dollars to public work.
If we reduce Kelly's budget, then the town's gonna get reduced. And then, so, we're not, it's not a huge savings.
But we're doing it.
No, right now it's separated out, so 2 days get charged to the public works budget, and then the other hours get charged to the budget.
And the clerk position, I don't even have one clerk, I've one now. Lisa's off until we don't know. She works like, and can't walk in. And I don't know when she comes back. She said she's a long, slow process. Talking physio, and she can't even go to physio. She went, tried it the other day, and then sent her home. So now I'm down to Jesse and me.
That was probably means to fracture, one doesn't break the bones. That, maybe it should have broke.
And she was trying to come to work, but it's her right leg, and I said to her, I don't need you driving and getting in an accident, because that's not something I'm grass driving to and from work, so please stay home. And now she's off. I texted her yesterday, talked to her.
Remotely?
That's what I was thinking too.
And they hope, like,
And what Great Plains can do, because we get a lot of stuff from them that has to be done, your cash receiving, your checks.
I work remotely from home, do payroll and benefits and all sorts of things.
yeah, but
Everyone
she
even-
doesn't do payroll.
But I'm just saying, everyone in my
I mean, she
organization
can do some of
works
it, but
remotely.
I'm not, we have to get it all set up, and we have to try it. I'm not saying it's not possible, but.
The amount of effort to set it up could not justify it.
Right.
If you
For
spend 2
the
months
3
setting
weeks
it up,
or 2 months
right.
that she's, gonna be at home, whatever, like,
So let's look at this folks too, for example, she broke her leg. We're asking her to work.
and she was here trying to work,
Right.
and we had to send her home at noon every day, so,
Yeah, she tried. It's no, negative to her.
no, not at all. And she's been, like, today, she's been, I texted her, she's home.
So this admin position that was in this.
Yeah. And it has to be a full-time position, because even just today and yesterday, me going through stuff and looking, there's stuff that's getting missed. Property tax, penalties weren't posted for October and November, stuff getting missed being processed, like, I'm not getting it.
There's not cross-training whatsoever between those positions. And should there not be cross-training for coverage?
It did not work.
Well, then that's what,
It didn't work, that's all I'm gonna say. It wasn't good. So
That position has been fairly treated, 100% communicated with, offered lots of scenarios, we didn't just say take it or leave it. That position's been offered many scenarios, including remote, and a few other things, and she has been refused.
so you offered that position remote.
offered her to
So
work
it's an area.
part-time from
Okay,
here.
You guys just made it sound like
Nope.
that wasn't a possibility.
No, we didn't make it sound like a possibility. Everything's possible, there are different scenarios, but she doesn't want full-time, she's too busy. She said, I think even coming in 3 days a week is tough for her, so. She does work for her husband, she does work for her son, she's a travel agent, and she works here.
She
she does not have time to be full-time. And I can honestly say, when she's not here, trying to answer questions from people is very difficult, because we don't have all the information. And so we can't answer their questions, and so, like, as far as the service level to our residents, it's low because we don't have.
So how long is that transition gonna take? Are we, where our service levels will be adequate?
Well, if somebody here, like, I'm doing it now, so now I can answer any questions.
You can answer any questions, oh, you made it sound like you could.
Well, I couldn't before.
Okay,
because I was doing it.
okay.
But now that
But you're here 3 days a week.
yeah, but that's why we need somebody here.
But how long is that transition?
It won't take long. You get somebody trained, this isn't hard work. It's not. It's all data entry. All of it is data entry.
No, dealing with the public isn't data entry.
No, but knowing.
And taxation isn't that straightforward. There's things to understand, and like you're making it sound like it's a menial, an idiot could do it, which I don't necessarily agree with.
It's data entry.
Yeah, it's.
But I mean, I know there was a huge gap for many, 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 many months from the prior admin to this admin with people trying to learn, and it wasn't a short
Can
gap.
I tell you why that happened? Because the prior admin didn't know how to use the program.
But I mean, Lisa was trained by Mary Ann.
Lisa wasn't trained on everything. We had to bring somebody in from Calmar to do taxes this year because she didn't know how.
Well, because there was, I don't know how long Mary Ann was when she
Mary Ann
left
was
with
here,
Lisa.
Mary Ann was here, and Lisa was here, Mary Ann.
But how long that
Mary Ann was here till
crossover?
June,
I don't know when
the
we
end of
started.
June, February.
They were together, what, 6 months?
They were here 4 months together. So it's there was a lot of reasons why, and we have lots of help from lots of different municipalities that are on the phone if I need them, that will come here if we need them to, and it will not be an issue. But, we need somebody here full time. Jesse's working on a block. It takes 28 minutes for you to get back to something if you're interrupted. 28 minutes, that's the average.
So how many staff did they have previously?
Oh, well, they had Mary Ann, Lisa, I don't know who was here all at the same time.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
There's lots of
Dallas
summer
was full
students.
time,
That was,
Natalia, I think, was full time.
Yeah. I know from years previous, there would have been Mary Ann, there would have been, Wayne was even working here at one time, but he was in the office, he was training or something, I don't know what it was. Corinne was here, well, she was well, Faye. So, just one position. And we know we structured the position, we worked on the position can be functional. Again, that's our focus, to provide administration properly. This is, we believe, the best way to do it. Not only that, it took us last year to figure out what was going on. Like, we've been here 5 or 6 years, and we're just in a position now because we haven't figured out some of the issues. When I say going wrong, don't take it the wrong way. It's just stuff that we needed to fix. That's all.
It's a difficult system. Great Plains is a difficult
It's a
system.
very difficult system, and we had to migrate on
Cumbersome.
QuickBooks. It's very cumbersome, there's no question.
I worked in it and I didn't find it cumbersome. I did the job in Calamar, payroll, taxes. I've done AP here. I worked for the town. I didn't find it cumbersome.
It's not bad, but the reporting sucks. It absolutely sucks. So to find stuff that's been done, it does take some looking. You can do it, but it does take some work, and the reporting is, but now that I have management reporter, but now I have to get that set up, like, and so
Is that just another module onto the,
it's actually free, and I don't know why we've never had it.
but that's part of Great Plains, like it's just another module?
Yeah.
And it comes with Great Plains.
Well, we never had it probably because they weren't using it.
No, but even before that, we didn't have it, because they were like, our Endeavor people were like, why don't you have this? Like, how are they getting their reports? I'm like, I have no idea. So, I don't know how they were doing stuff, but this report, like, report, but you have to set up every report you need, so that takes time. So, there's lots of stuff that wasn't being utilized, there's lots of stuff. I think Great Plains, I think it's difficult because I'm used to software where I can just click on anything and get all the but it's municipal software and it is what it is. So it's not like. Nor can we afford to.
No, maybe so this.
So, back on topic, we're need to hire on a full-time clerk. Okay. And would your question or debate about that?
My question or debate was, I hate to see us get rid of an experienced person. Was there any way she would work more days? Is the current legislative clerk, Jesse, is that really a full-time need? Because we've never even had that kind of position before, but because Cindy's stating that she needs help with filing and AP and stuff like that.
Our current one doesn't want to have slots.
Well, that's why I said a .7 and she could help .2. Like, is that an
Let's point
option?
of order, like, who holds the position is none of our business.
Yeah, the clerk, yeah.
Are we having the position is all we're here to discuss. Do we fund the position? It's none of our business who holds the position, so let's get on topic.
Good
But
point.
the service level's being met.
Yes, we want to talk about, do we need the position? Great, but I'm trying to talk about who holds the position.
Yeah,
That's none of this council's business. Let's talk about, do we fund the position? Yes or no?
It's a very good point, exactly. So,
But can we fund the position? That's the point.
well,
It's budgeted for it.
that's up to us to
But
decide.
we're having to do other
Once
things
we-
because
once
it's
we,
budgeted.
We're gonna
Once we establish that,
I have a budget for it.
so
Take it on.
these meetings to look after
Sell
that.
it.
Good point. Okay, anything else? So that scenario right there with 556 with a shortfall, that's with, but just as a recap in my mind, it's with a public works position, it's with a clerk, and it's with the franchise. Is that correct?
Yeah, and the bylaw down to 2 days. For 2 months till February and then it's off for a contract down
And the tax, at option or is that?
5.75.
Oh, that's. I mean, look what's going on around everything else. I mean, Edmonton says they're gonna have this for the next 4 years.
At 5.
5%.
So,
I mean, at 4.
we can't really discuss funding public works in a public setting in regard to the FTEs and such, in that, like, what the staffing was at one point, what the FTEs were, what we were funding at that point in time to where we are now. Like, I don't know what it was,
We talked about that according to 5.
but I don't think there was 5 all at one time, because Andrew was new pretty well. Like, how long has Andrew been here now? 2 years? 4, I thought you started just the prior year, Tamara. And then how many people did you work with at that point? One other? Which was?
Right.
Oh,
Me came on, hired me, and left.
so then, how many staff have there been? Like, right now, you have a 2.8 FTE, but we've been having issues with the staff, not issues per se, but just the people haven't been healthy in their positions. We've been struggling this year with that. If you had,
We only had one person down.
I thought you had an injury too.
Worked double time. Worked double time.
So, I don't know, I just wondering, like, 3.8, is that more than we've ever had since you've been here?
That's, that's more than, that's definitely more than what I started here. Like, when I started, it was Brian and myself. Ed had actually moved over to the office here. It was anything to do with public works, then Ed left. And then it was just Brian and I, completely, and then Brian was gone and it was me. That was it until I hired Chris.
But you have, what about the part-time staff?
And those were not until after I hired Chris.
So I don't know, I'm confused if we didn't have a lot of staff and it was fine for multiple years. I just don't,
Because nothing was getting done.
There's no maintenance program. Don't forget if we're.
but you started in 218 or 219? Okay, that was before COVID, prior to COVID,
Right when COVID was rampant.
that we were running full force in And there was how many? 2?
I was a full-time.
Counselor Ash, don't forget, we're also asking him to come in the office and do the mapping on that.
Right, but that was still 2 full-time people, and we're looking at 3.8.
Well, you're gonna lose, you know, that's
So that's
at least a half position there.
no manager, one public works and that's what we had. So there was no paperwork being done.
So you don't think you could do it with 2.5 in the office and 2.5 in the field full-time? Like you have, and then 2 full-time people?
I'm not understanding what you're saying.
Okay, because right now we're looking at 3.
Half in the office and half.
So that's 0.5 FT in the field, 0.5 FT doing your office work, and 2 full-time people. So 2.5 is more than you've ever had in the field, right? Is that not sufficient?
No, it's not,
How do you know if you've never had it?
because I know how much still needs to get done and what doesn't get done in the time that we have. 8 hours is not, 8 hours a day for 5 days a week is not enough time to get people what's required in a day to get done. I have people that call me about meter issues. I have people that call me about going out and marking out when they're having landscaping done. We have to go out and mark out where our water lines are, because that's not a part of first call. There's no documentation that's been done whatsoever. I didn't find out even about the grader not being serviced in 2 weeks. So I called and asked, when was the last time it was serviced? Like, there's nothing.
I'm just wondering how we can jump from 2 to 3.8, and then we also will be having summer students. It just seems like a huge jump.
It is a huge jump. It is a huge jump.
That's a lot of money.
Again, it comes down to service.
But I
We
mean,
want to get those service levels up to our.
but I mean, the bitches and complaining tends to be about roads, which we're not repairing anyways. Our service levels, everyone seems to be fine with our service levels right now. So I just don't know. I mean, it's nothing against, there's nothing personal here. It's nothing against anybody. It's just looking for things to cut, right?
Yeah, I understand that. I understand that. It would be like me trying to sit in your seat and make that decision. I couldn't do that. You being able to sit in that seat and see what a day-to-day for public works is like, unless you're there, you don't know. I can't physically of
But you don't even know,
has been let go.
Yeah, I get it. I live here.
I'm not just saying like out on the roads and stuff like that. Like I'm trying to explain like I have machinery that I am duct taping together to try and keep us going.
But I mean, how are more people going to help us? Doing what?
Keeping that machinery together. He's ordering parts.
I
Down document.
Sure.
I've spent a great deal of time in public works this year, among other departments, so it's not just public works, but over at Grand. And I know how to start out in the morning, I know what machinery they have to get ready for the day, I know what servicing they have to do with machines, those are the ones contracted. I know the amount of calls they get, I've been out there with them. I know the amount of, can you fix this, can you help that? There's always somebody who's got a broken CC valve, there's somebody that your snow's in my fence, there's somebody that you didn't grade this properly. We've got you turning donuts in the back parking lot that it takes us 2 or 3 hours to fix all the time, and we're gonna fix this week. But, so it's getting ready to get out in a lot of cases, and moving snow is very timely and cost effective. So I'm advocating for that position really hard because, we have, Rick and Phil who know a lot of where the infrastructure is. So we get all this mapped as well. They know where the gems are hiding. It's very valuable. That's one position. We have one more full-time position in Andrew. And a lot of times you're out in a piece of equipment for 5, 6, 7 hours. That's what you do. You come in, they're frozen, whether you have pickups frozen, and this weather is hell. I've been at all the water main breaks, I know exactly what they do. I've stood over the hole, I've watched the crews, I've watched TV Max. I know what it takes, and this is, and I totally understand what you're saying, Councilor Shelley, and I get your comments, and I'm not upset by them, because that's not what this is about. I'm not totally upset. We've got to have another body. We've cut a lot of things to the bill. So, it's up to council to vote on it, for sure. We've made our pitch. And, it's,
All right, well, we'll talk about that. So, I guess I would, ask for a motion to delay the, budget motion until after the camera. All in favor? Great. And then motion to take about a 10-minute recess, and then we'll come back in camera.
Motion to take 10-minute recess to come back.
John, all in favor? Great. But you're still smoking. Huh? But you're still smoking.
Well, priority.
Nobody likes a quitter.
I'm not coming in with you guys to smoke. I'm just saying.
Jesse, you gotta turn this off.